I'm saying good morning because it is 6:40 Eastern Standard Time. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Welcome to another episode of Get Up 10. Heavy on the get up because I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning for y'all, and I'm not a morning person. But I told myself I want to have my podcast done on Tuesdays at 7 a.m. Get up 10 Tuesday. So I got my butt up for y'all this morning. And I also started my job this week, so I have to get up this morning. But anyways, bear with me, y'all. We can get this podcast in. I'm not a morning person like this. I will stay up all night. I will not wake up early. But you make time for what matters. So I have my topic for this week. I got my notes because I can't go off the top of my head at this time in the morning, y'all. So if you're popping in on this live, I am live on Facebook and Instagram. Good morning. I hope you all have a great day. So like I said, I started my job this week, and half the reason I'm doing my podcast right now is because I actually went to sleep at this time last night. So I went to sleep at 6:40 p.m. And so here I am. I don't know. I've worked a couple different jobs in my 2 years of nursing. This will be my third nursing job in 2 years. And so I've been through orientation a bunch of times, and I don't like orientation. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't like it. I'm not a morning person. Orientation is never at night. Go figure. And it's just boring. It's good stuff, it's important, but it's boring, and I just struggle through it. Like, I literally have to eat to stay awake. I think that's a habit I developed in college, where I just eat stuff to stay awake. So that's what I do in orientation. I just got the snacks on deck. Thank God that I'm with a bunch of nurses, and we're not all like, oh my gosh, social distance, COVID, because I'm out here with my goldfish and my fruit on deck, just snacking to stay awake, y'all, because I don't want to fall asleep during orientation. And I remember one time I was in orientation and I was struggling to keep my eyes open, like nodding off. And this lady comes up to me, one of the presenters, she's like, I love your energy. And I was like, oh, really? Thank you. Because I was definitely falling asleep. But yeah, so I'm going through orientation again, but I just powered through it. It does make the week go by fast, and you get to meet people, so. And I got a job, I'm getting paid, so there's no complaints on this end. But anyways, I actually put my podcast notes together during lunch yesterday, because I have been going back and forth I got a week to get my thoughts together for y'all, because I don't want no stale ideas. I want fresh ideas. I want things that are relevant, things that are going to matter. So I don't really prep my stuff too far in advance. So I literally put these notes together. I started them yesterday at lunch, and then I finished them off at 2 o'clock this morning. Don't ask. So yeah, so today's episode is called In the Middle. And I wanted to talk about this because I feel like a lot of times in life we find ourselves in the middle. And I'm going to talk about what that means exactly, because the only constant in life is change. That's going to happen whether you want it to or not. Life changes, things happen. Seasons come and go. And if you are in the Northeast like I am, you definitely have an appreciation, for the most part, for this time of year, because it does get a little bit cold, but we see all of the trees changing and the leaves changing colors and falling and all that, and it's just beautiful. And there's just nothing like the color palette that we see in the Northeast in the fall. And in the same way, life has seasons. So how you handle your middle, which is that place of change or transition, will set the tone for your next chapter. So as you all know, this podcast is called Get Up 10 Podcast. I just realized I don't think I put my podcast title on Instagram. I'm gonna have to fix that. Anyways, after you get knocked down, because life will knock you down, it will happen. The key is to get back up. And that's what Get Up 10 is about. Life is going to knock you down, but I promise you can get back up every single time. That's what I want to show you guys. So after you get back up, What does it look like before you start moving again, before you start walking again, before you start winning again, before you are victorious again? What does it look like? Because to keep it 100 with you guys, I feel like I'm in the middle right now. It's definitely new beginnings. I'm leaving some old stuff behind, and so I'm in the middle, and it's not a bad place to be. I'll tell you that. It's really not. I think we have this, and I have been guilty in my impatience of thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle, like I'm ready, let's get it going, God, like I'm ready to move on. And as I get older, I learn that there's value in this middle place, and it's really all about your perspective, because when you're in a losing season, you just want it to be over. And when you're in a winning season, there's nothing to say about that. Life is good. But when you're in the middle, when you're in the fight, when you're going through it, it can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be. And so that's why I really wanted to talk about this topic with you guys. So I wanted to give you guys some advice on how to handle your middle ground. You guys know I'm very clear. Reading my notes. Very big on getting clear on who you are and what you want. And when you're in the middle, that's something that you do need to continue to do, because, well, I have several reasons actually. So get clear on who you are. I just want to say that, like, getting clear on your identity is not about the things that are going on outside of you. It's not about material things. It's not about titles. It's more about your inner being. Like, who is that person? Not, oh, I'm a nurse. Oh, I'm a mom. Oh, I play basketball. Like, yes, those things are part of you, but those things can get taken away from you. But there's certain things about your identity that if all those things got taken away from you, because a lot of people lost their jobs and are struggling right now because their identity was in their jobs. If your job gets taken away from you, who are you? You know, who really are you? Get clear on that. And what do you want for your life? I love You by E.T. because he asked the questions like, what do you want for your life? What car do you want to drive? I don't even know. I can't remember. I haven't listened to it in a couple of days. But what car do you want to drive? What does your house look like? What does your spouse look like if you're not already married? What does your dream vacation look like? What are you doing in 5 years? Are you an author? What are you writing about? Like, just every single detail of your life. What does that look like? So get clear on those things, because chances are, if you're coming out of a season where you just took a L, and we don't take losses, we learn lessons. So if you just came out of a season in life where you had to learn some lessons, I'm pretty sure you have newfound knowledge that you need to apply, because the way that life works, you're going to keep going through things until you learn what you need to learn. So take time to sit and reflect on the lessons from your past season, and so that you can add those. It's like adding new weapons, new tools, like an upgrade to your life for this next season. So definitely take time to do that. And also, counterfeits are going to show up before the real thing. So if you're transitioning, if you're waiting on your blessing, if you're waiting on your miracle, if you're expectant for something, if you're waiting to manifest something in your life, you're going to go through tests. Like, people, places, opportunities are going to come up that look good, but you're going to have to decipher if it's really good. And if you're not clear on who you are and what you want, you might accept the wrong thing because it looked good in the beginning, but it wasn't actually good. And that's going to waste your time. And you don't have time to waste, because you're out here trying to do the thing, live your best life, live a purposeful life, and you don't have time to waste. So make sure you get clear on these things, because when the counterfeits come up, you want to be able to call them out. So just continue to refine your identity and your vision when you're in the waiting place, when you're in between where you used to be and on your way to where you want to go. So while the past may seem comfortable because it's familiar, because you know what to expect, good or bad, when you're in transition, when you have left one place, remind yourself of the spaces that you have outgrown. Because if you're transitioning seasons, that means that there's aspects of the past season that no longer serve you. There's a reason why you're transitioning seasons. If you were meant to stay in that old place with that person, with that job, with in that environment, in that city, well, then you would still be there, all right? But the fact that you're moving on means that things have changed, and hopefully it's because you have grown. You're becoming a better version of yourself. You have learned some things where you know you can no longer stay in that place. And it's easy to look back and be like, dang, I had it good back there because this was happening, that was happening. Okay, maybe it wasn't all of this, but it was all of that. And we do this with ourselves because right now in the middle, it could feel like, dang, like, what do I really got here? I'm not winning and I'm not losing, but it's just an awkward place. And so it's easy to ask yourself, like, it's easy to flirt with the idea of going back to some place where you know you have no business being. And I'm saying that because I've been there. But I want you guys, when you find yourself in your feelings, in that place of wondering, is it really worth it? Did I make the right decision? Am I actually going to get what I asked God for? Am I going to get what God promised me? Trust what you have lost is nothing compared to what is to come. Guys, we don't take losses. We don't take L's in life. We learn lessons. And the great part is that hopefully, when you know better, you do better. So apply that to your life. If you know that you're changing seasons, what was behind you was maybe, it was alright, but it wasn't everything that it needed to be. Have faith that the best is yet to come. Like, I'm so big on the best is yet to come. And I want you guys to, that's one of my mantras, and I want you guys to, if it's not yours, just remind yourself of that when you're going through it and it doesn't seem like things are where you quite want them to be. Well, then God is not finished yet. If life isn't looking good, then God is not finished. That's how I learned it, and that's how I hold on to. And it's true, because God is never going to take something out your life and not replace it with better. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Verse of the day on the Bible app, because I was bored in orientation and I was playing around with my Apple Watch. I think this was yesterday's Bible verse, but it talks about how if we're messed up, this is a Ginger translation. If you're messed up and you still treat your kid good or to the best of your abilities, how much better is God going to do you? Okay? So if you're in between seasons, just know that the best is yet to come. Yeah, upgrade is coming, okay? It's coming. Hold on. Get ready for it. Are you who you need to be for what you told God that you want? Oh my God, I can't talk this morning. I gotta say that again though. Are you who you need to be for what you told God that you want? And lastly, when you're in the middle, when you're in transition, I need you to work while you wait, okay? Don't be in bed eating all the ice cream. Don't be sleeping your days away. Don't go on hiding. Like, work while you wait. And I talked a little bit about this on my interview with Christine last week, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. It's on Rain to Rain Instagram. Rain like the weather, to rain like king, rain to rain. And they are doing an awesome series called Unwritten, and I was honored to be a part of that. And so we talked about what does it look like to work while you wait, because I think we have this misconception of working being grinding, going hard, going all in, exhausting yourself, just grind, hustle, team no sleep, and all that. And that's a misconception, because part of doing the work is resting. Part of doing the work is taking pauses. Like, if God created the whole entire world in 6 days and took that 7th day for rest, how important is rest, you know? And sometimes we think that work is always like a physical activity or like strenuous, but it's not always. Like, sometimes doing the work is checking in on other people, sending them a text message, giving them a phone call in this COVID season where we can't always be out here. And then trust that when you're in the middle of a transition, when you're going through changes, you are being prepared. Because God is not going to send you into your next season out here looking like a fool. Like, He's going to make sure you're ready. Like, that's His character. Well, we wait on His timing. He makes sure that we have everything that we need. Because you always have everything that you need to be successful in life. Also, while you're waiting, doing the work while you wait, do what you're good at. You know, definitely take the time if you have the time to learn something new, but like, remember the things that you're good at. Remember the things that give you joy. and do those things. Take care of yourself. For me, I know for a while I was crying a lot, and now I'm smiling again. I got my glow back, and it makes a difference to people. And so if I go to work today, maybe I'm the new employee. I don't know. I can't be a helping hand on the floor, but I do know that I can show up and I can smile at everybody I see for free. That didn't even cost me anything, you know? So think about those little things that you can do that are going to make a big difference. Maybe not, I don't know. You don't even know the impact of something so simple as a smile, because sometimes somebody really needs it. And serve other people. So that kind of goes off of the last point. Like, if you are in a season of waiting, take the focus off yourself. Because if you sit there and you think about yourself and what you may or may not have, quote unquote, you're going to send yourself into this stuck place of comparison. Like, that's why I have to be careful scrolling through Instagram sometimes, because it's so easy to see other people's wins, because you never know what's going on behind closed doors, or off camera, I should say. You never know what's going on. It's so easy to sit on social media while you are still waiting for your blessing and looking at other people's blessings. And I'm doing air quotes if you're watching me, because, or if you're listening to this, I should say, because you really never know. It's so easy to watch other people get blessed and be like, yo, God, where's my blessing at? It must be nice. Look at this person with their dream, whatever. Where's mine at? And comparison is a thief of joy. You can't be happy if you're sitting here on Instagram talking about why they got it and I don't. It doesn't work that way. But when you take the focus off of other people, when you celebrate other people, when you serve other people, when you pray for other people, when you take the focus off of yourself, that's going to propel you, because God does things through people. If you want to see a blessing in your life, be a blessing, okay? So that's my advice for when you're in a transitional season of life. Get clear on your vision and your identity. Remember that you can't go back. There is no going back. You don't need to go back. We need to go forward. Get up and move on. Move forward, okay? And do the work while you wait. Don't just wait and sit there like like a bump on a log or something? I don't know. And you know, I have to give you guys a couple of scriptures. This episode is a little scripture heavy because I had a couple of different thoughts, but you know that it's all good. So Philippians 1:6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Meaning, if God started it, if you're alive, he's going to finish it. It's going to be good. He began a good work in you. He didn't begin a half butt, because I don't like to curse my podcast. He did not do some sloppy job on you guys. Like, you're a work of art. You're a masterpiece. God has big things planned for your life. And so I need you to, like, trust in that. Like I said, if it doesn't look good yet, it's not done yet. Period. Like, if you're alive, you got time. God is working on you. Just chill. Trust the process. I just cringed a little bit because, trust the process sounds cute, but it's really not. Anyways, Isaiah 55:11. So is my word. This is God talking. The words that come from his mouth, they will not return to him empty, but they will accomplish what he desires and achieve the purpose for which he has sent it. Meaning, if God said it, trust that it's going to happen, period. Like, if somebody gave you a word, if you've been in your word, reading up on God's promises, like, trust that it's gonna happen. Like, it really is. Like, God's not out here just telling you, giving you visions, giving you dreams so that you could just fantasize about stuff that you're never gonna have. No, like, it's going to happen. Trust that. All right. When you trust God, because he has an impeccable track record, he's never failed, you can actually sit back. If your mama told you something that's gonna happen, y'all, I'm sitting in my parents' house right now, and they've been talking about getting it redone since I was a little girl, and it hasn't happened. It's okay, though, you know, because the best is yet to come. But when people make you a promise, you low-key have the right to question it a little bit. But when God makes you a promise, I need you to sit in that and just hold on. It's going to come through. Romans 8:28 is also one of my favorite verses, because this is something that I hold on to. We know that all things, there's no asterisk, there's no except for this, there's no but, it's all things, period. God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. So whatever you're going through, it's going to come out good, all right? Sometimes the delays, the rejections, the heartbreaks, the pain, the sickness, the baby mama drama, baby zaddy drama, the whatever it is, your hair didn't come out right. Maybe I'm talking to myself. I don't know. It's all going to come out for your good, okay? For the good overall. Like, it's going to be a testimony. You can't have a testimony without a test. So trust in that. And lastly, this one, if you ever been remotely near a church, you know this one. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. So when you're going through your transition, remember that you're going to be prosperous. Like, you have a hope and a future. You're not just out here in the waiting. Like, the best is yet to come. So that's what I got for you guys today. I got it in. I do like to have my podcast up by 7 a.m., but, it's all right. We got it in. This episode will be up later today. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have me on social media, I see all the hearts. I appreciate it. It's making me feel good on this morning. All right, let me go get ready for work. I'll see you guys next week. And trust the process. I don't know why that came out, but God must have had that. Trust the process. Love you guys.